Hello, Melton Guy here. Gonna talk a little bit, and I may be scatterbrained or seem scatterbrained, but so much going on out there, so much to be happy about, so much to be angry about, and so much just to try to sink your teeth into, or at least get a hold on of what's going on. But anyway, that's where we're going to be. That's where we are. Listen to this. MAGA had the nerve to foolishly dare us, so we're coming strong with Kamala Harris. Just to let you know, I got a little bit of poetry in me. As I said, I'm going to be all over the place today, and I'm going to be all over the place because that's what I feel like I have to do. You can't talk about everything that's going on, but I try to get a little bit in, a little bit every time. And it just seems like there's so much taking place that don't have the time to do it all. I remember something an uncle of mine said, may not apply here, but kind of it does. He said one day during some hard times, he said, I need money so bad that I don't have time to work for it. Well, that's kind of the way I feel with everything that's going on and something being created every day that the nation needs to be aware of. I'll start off with this. I heard Trump in a speech or press conference, can't really remember at this time, but he said it on more than one occasion. He said that he had the respect of dictators. I asked the question. I wish I could ask him directly. Of course, he would never allow that. But Donald, if they respect you, then why do they respect you? I want you to try to work into your minds, MAGA, and whatever you call yourself, that bound and determined that you're going to support Donald Trump no matter what he does. But I want you to try to work into your mind that old saying that simply says, it takes one to know one. And I'll ask the question again. Why do you need the respect of dictators around the world, evil men, proven evil men? Why would you say, I have the respect of dictators? Because I'm going to ask the question every time, why do they respect you? I don't know whether it's true or not, but he set up the scenario. All right, that's one issue, and it's a big issue. Do we want a president that admires and wants the admiration of evil dictators around this world? I can only answer for me. And a few others, I can speak for them because I know them. But they would say absolutely not. We do not want anyone near the Oval Office with that kind of desire. But anyway, moving on. And like I said, I'm being all over the place today because so much is going on, because I'm confused about some of it. I just want to ask the question of Jesse Waters. I'd like to ask him directly, but he's not going to allow that. And we all know why. He won't let anybody, any of us, not just me. He's not afraid of me, but he wouldn't put himself in a position where he could be asked a lot of questions. That's Jesse Waters. He's a coward after a coward's own heart. But what the question I want to ask today, because of the things I heard him say, I want to ask Jesse, are you gay? Really? Are you gay? Not there's anything wrong with it. Referring back to an old Seinfeld episode. But are you gay? And there's nothing wrong with it if you are. Just let us know. And I asked the question referring you to his vicious words about Tim Walsh and his relationship with his wife. And the awkward little scene up there. I don't know why it was caused, but I've done that kind of thing myself with my wife. But the question that the love they have for one another, the kind of love they have for one another, and that to insinuate that she was not really proud of him for what he's accomplished, asinine in the least. But why would Jesse Waters bring that up? And then, on top of it, point out, but look how he hugs the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff. What's he suggesting? You know, I've heard so much from that side of the aisle, so to speak, and it seems like there's a question about what a man is, how you have to be a man, or possess manly features, or possess manly attitudes, or show manly appearances when you're out on the stage or out in public, or how you portray yourself as a manly man. It's a big thing to be a man. Who is really a man? I pondered that question, or what is a man? That seems to be a big subject among people like Jesse Waters and other effeminate men. And there's nothing wrong with being effeminate. I mean, some people have told me I'm effeminate. Doesn't bother me. If I'd have been straight or gay, I would try to seek happiness, just like I do now, with my wife and family. If my daughter had been gay and married to another gay person, you know, am I saying it wouldn't bother me? It would bother me. Not because I see something wrong, but because, I'm selfish. I wanted my grandbaby. Probably could have had one anyway. But the thing is, why so much attention being focused on the idea that you're not appearing to be manly? So what is a man? As I said, which seems to be important to Jesse Waters. And I've always considered Jesse Waters to be effeminate. I had a good friend one time in Atlanta that could almost been a twin of Jesse Waters. Very effeminate. Matter of fact, he was gay. Or is gay. He's still alive and kicking. One of the nicest human beings I've ever met. And it was a long time before I ever knew he was gay. And when I found out, it really made no difference to me. I just remembered all the good things he had done for me. But anyway, trying to point out that wherein lies the importance to presenting yourself as a man. And what I saw in that episode with Tim Walsh and his wife and Doug Emhoff, I saw nothing unusual. Didn't think one thing about it until Jesse Waters brought it out. And it seemed to me, Jesse, it seems to me that you protesteth too much. But we all know what the real problem is. The real problem here, these are nothing, when they come out with things like this, they are nothing but distractions. Not just distractions from the issues that they're not addressing, or distracting you from the the powered success of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, and distraction from the great crowds and the enthusiasm finally within the Democratic Party. No, these are distractions from their fear. Not just fear, but trembling in their boots fear of Kamala and Tim. And you know what? They should be. You see, we are resolved that the evil of MAGA, Donald Trump, phony J.D. Vance, and journalists, like Jesse Homophobic Waters, disappear from any forum of influence. They have distracted and destroyed this country too much, and it's gone way too far. And we've allowed too much. I mean, never as a time existed in great economic times and bad economic times. There are hungry families out there, which means there are hungry children out there going to bed at night with nothing to eat. That's a horror within itself. And then there are women having their very, very basic rights stripped. But even worse than that, a former disgraced piece of crap president calling it a non-issue, as if it is not even important. Then you have guns in the hands of individuals who shouldn't be allowed to brandish a slingshot. And you have groups who would destroy this country out of spite, just simply with the intent of appearing to be right. I mean, now I'm asking a question of you. Is there any one of you in a red state or a blue state that believes Donald Trump is incapable of any kind of treachery to attempt to empower himself and do it without regard for you, me, and even their Republican Party? You know, you think about all these things, why you shouldn't vote for Donald Trump, and then if you need another solid reason not to vote for John Trump, remember, should Trump become president, only one little small heartbeat separates that presidency from becoming President J.D. Vance. Scary, scary, scary. But now for them, they can't be truthful. Truthfulness is a stumbling block, especially this time around, for Trump and the MAGA cult. And they'll use any distraction to keep you from realizing that truth. They'll double down, triple down, quadruple down, and whatever comes after that. But finally, as I look across this country, finally, truth is coming to light here and there and in other places, and not as bright as I want it to be, but truth is coming to light. Maybe not with many of the news media. I don't know what their problem is, but I have lost all confidence in some of the news media with what they have let Donald Trump get away with. But way more importantly, whether the media sees it or refuses to talk about it, or whether nobody on the Republican side sees the big and huge, important thing out of all of this is that the voters are seeing the light. And like I said in the beginning, Trump and this MAGA cult were foolish enough to dare us, so we're coming straight at them with Kamala Harris. And for good measure, Trump, you wanted a wall? We'll go one better and present you with walls. Tim, that is. Vote, people. Vote. Vote Democratic for every position from dog catcher to the representatives of your state, to senator, and to the president of the United States. Vote. Seriously. Who is foolish enough to not believe that Donald Trump, his lackeys, his cult, his family, and secret groups of ultra right-wing radicals are not devising a plan as we speak to make sure their man is installed to the position of president or dictator? And this man that they lift so highly and put on such a pedestal and will do anything for, he is maniacal. He is treacherous. He is diabolical. He is amoral. He is unethical, unpatriotic. He is selfish. He is narcissistic. He is a chauvinist. He is scared, trembling scared. He is an elitist. He is, and I could be here forever. So how is that for name calling? Jesse and Sean Hannity and Fox News, how's that for name calling? Well, there's a huge difference, though. Unlike Trump, unlike Sean Hannity, unlike Jesse Woodard, unlike Fox News, there is absolute proof of every name I call Donald Trump. Absolute proof. What I am saying is this. Be ready for anything from now till November 5th and beyond. But also find solace in the knowledge that this time Donald Trump is not president. Joe Biden is president, and he has immunity. Thank you, Trump. Vote, vote, vote. Vote, vote, vote. Let's be a part of the great headline, landslide victory for Harris, Waltz, and the Democrats. And I'll leave you with that. Thumbs up for my podcast, please, and subscribe to my podcast and share it. Help me by sharing and by subscribing. I've got something to say, disagree or agree. I have something to say, and I want to reach as many as I can. So help me by sharing, by subscribing and sharing. Also, what I mention, first of all, my wife's book, Leaving Small Town by Sue Guy. You can find it on Amazon. Like I said, people love this book. Those that have read it love it and ask her, when's the sequel? As well as I have done many times. When are you going to write the sequel? It's a good book, great book. I hope you'll buy it and read it and tell others about it. And also my book, The Offspring of Ignorance, also found on Amazon. I want you to go buy it. I might make a little money off of it. But main thing, I want you to hear what I have to say. I want you to read it in this book, The Offspring of Ignorance. The Offspring of Ignorance and Leaving Small Town on Amazon. And then check out the other podcasts I've mentioned before, like Tennessee Brando, Texas Paul, and the Midas Touch Network, Ari Melber, Rachel Maddow, and many, many others. As always, I encourage you to listen to Fox. I do, like I said. And then listen to it and compare it and search out the truth. And you'll find that all those names I called Donald Trump applies to Fox Network. So goodbye until our next roundup. God bless you all, and I love you. And I love this country. Vote Democratic. Go Kamala and Tim. Goodbye.